Hello everyone, welcome back to PowerWash Simulator. It's me, JD Sensei. How are we doing, guys? I am still cleaning this nasty ass house. Because I want the money. Because I want a better power washer. I don't know what that's going to do for me, but I'm easily influenced by new stuff. So, yeah. I told you in the last episode, if we're playing a game where I can upgrade like an engine or something like that, I'm going to go for that first. It's like, but you should go for the tires. Hell with the tires. We're going for the main part. Like when I used to play Armored Core, which is not the new one. I haven't played the new one. I used to play the old one. I always used to try and make as much money as possible to get the frame I wanted first, and then I'd work on actually getting the weapons I wanted. The exception of was it Front Mission 2. Not Front Mission. I'm thinking. God, I got the wrong game. Wait, is it Front Mission? Hold on. Armored Core. Armored Core. Front Mission. Front Mission, a different game. I am happy with the remaster, by the way. They did remaster Front Mission 1. I'm waiting for Front Mission 3, which is my favorite one. So many secrets in that game. I still remember the code. I still remember the code. Still remember the code. For those of you who don't know, there's a web, kind of like a fake internet in the game. And there's websites to go to, and I don't really think it was hacking. It wasn't really hacking, but it wasn't hacking. I know that. It was, you had to, but you could, if you read certain things in certain orders, you like, or followed email chains and stuff like that. I forget exactly how it worked. I haven't played it in years. But you could get to other websites. If you followed like, some of it was unlocked via the story. But there was one website you could get to with the code for, I think it was a nuke or it was a neutron bomb. It was a neutron bomb, right? It was something. I remember it was a bomb, and because that's a cutscene. There's also 2 full paths in that game. You decide early in the game whether you're going to follow this person or this person. My favorite is Emma. The other one I want, but before I get started on another tangent, what I was going to say is for those of you who don't know, the password is Aliciana. The Midas bomb, that's what it was. Didn't make any sense. Midas something. It didn't turn anything to gold, but it damn sure made a mess. The game I've always wanted a remaster of, I don't think they ever will. What am I stuck on? Is Warship Gunner 2, which was it Naval Gunner was the first one? But Warship Gunner was so cool, man. It had like a branching narrative, like several things depending on how you finished up a mission would put you on different courses. The super ships that you had to fight, the super battleships and stuff, they were crazy. The boss ships. It seems like all they want to do now is World of Warships or something like that, which is sort of fun, I guess. But I want Warship Gunner. There was also stupid stuff you could do, like what was this damn thing they did? My friend did. One of the weapons you could unlock, totally useless, by the way, but you could unlock, pirate era cannons, like 12 pounders or something. It was stupid. You couldn't sink anything with that, but it looked funny. It just looked insane. You got a modern battleship with like 4 billion 16-pound cannons or whatever they were. It was completely ineffective. It just was funny as hell. But the way you built ships was just, it was so insane, bro. It was so insane. You could, I remember because you wanted to unlock hulls, but I'd always end up with like some ridiculously, like as much tonnage as I could get, and I'd throw a crap ton of guns. Like, it didn't matter. You could, the only thing that could whoop my ass early game was an aircraft carrier. Just because I couldn't fend off the aircraft. I mean, I could if I had enough anti-aircraft on it. And if I had a big enough hull, you bet your ass I had a lot of AA on it. But just getting it in close with like the ridiculous broadside you could eventually get was like redonkulous. But one of the branching paths I remember is like early in the game, you're supposed to follow the American fleet. It's like off Hawaii. You're supposed to follow the American fleet. Uh, you went to rescue some guys, and you're supposed to follow. What was the other thing? You got a free item too for blowing up a base, but you had to wait around. If you wanted to get better stuff, you'd wait around till after. So when the fleet gets escorted, they go off the west side of the map, I believe, and then you're supposed to follow. But if you wait around, the force that the enemy sent will show up. And if you beat them, you got extras, or I forget what you got, but yeah, there were all sorts of little cool things. Like there were, I believe, 3 mission paths on that one, 2 or 3. It's definitely 2, probably 3. And I know I played everything. I played the hell out of that game. Yeah, but it does go super sci-fi with the double carrier, with the laser battleships, which you eventually get. Laser weapons on a battleship, sure, why not? Which back then was not a reality, just so you know. It is now. They do have those. I would assume they're not great. I don't quote me on that. When I was in the Navy, didn't have those. I was a Marine, so they didn't tell me everything, but sure somebody would have known if we had lasers. I mean, granted, military wouldn't have told us, but somebody would have figured it out. Somebody would have been like, hey man, we got lasers on this bad boy. I mean, we had lasers, just not offensive ones. There's plenty of lasers in avionics. I say that because I've told you this story before. I've had that there was a van on most calibration complexes that says laser, and it puts a big sign out there. It's like, if you're female, do not come near it, because if you do, it could sterilize you. And me, being the smart ass that I was like, well, what the hell is it going to do to me? Well, you're a guy. You don't have to worry. I was like, what? I watch Star Wars. I don't have deflector shields. How am I going to be okay? Oh, whatever. I never tested the theory if I'd have trouble having children, so... because I never tried to have children. People ask me why I don't have kids, besides the fact I'm not married at the moment. Or I've never been married at the moment, now that I think about it. The reason I don't have kids is because I am the kid. Just saying. I'm my age and I'm still playing video games. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, man, I can do what the hell I want. But I will say, the last girlfriend I had, man, when we broke up for whatever stupid reason it was, I know I've talked about it before. Actually, I don't know the reason, now that I think about it. Just one day, her dad said she didn't want to talk to me, so I never called her back. And we dated for like 6 months. Yeah, but we had no plans to have children. And when she's like, neither of us, I don't think were interested anyways. But if we were, if she was, I would have been like, well, as long as you're good with 2 kids, because that's what you get. I'm from the Toys R Us era, baby. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Just saying. I hate having to use this little thing. Not accurate. Oh, it is. What's that aiming mode? Oh, that's what aiming mode is. All right. That's actually annoying, so I prefer not to do that. I prefer to aim with the damn stick. Okay, where are we going? Going up to this one again? All right, let's finish this crap up. But yeah, yeah. Enough of my boring love life. They're like, you haven't had a girlfriend in years. I was like, I ain't been looking. I ain't been looking. I've had a few offers, but at the time they offered, I was not in, I'm not going to say in the mood. Also, no lie, the offers I got were, I don't believe in going out with people just because, I know people have done this. They go out with somebody to be nice. I was like, bro, if you're not invested in them, how the hell you even bother? That's not fair to anybody. So I'm like, I wouldn't do that. And I wouldn't. Never have. I have to be interested in you. I feel bad when somebody's like, asks me out or something. 'Cause I'm not going to sit here and say it happens every damn day either. I've had a couple I've been interested in, but the last few have been not my type. And I will say it is hard to communicate not interested and not sound like an ass. At least, because I always don't want to hurt people's feelings, but again, it's got to be right for both of us, just saying. But I absolutely do know people that have done pity dates. That's what I call them. Honestly, and it's not only women. A lot of people are like, oh, pity dates, that's something a girl would do. Yeah. It's more common, but it's not exclusive. I will say that. The last person I knew that did it was definitely a guy. There's another term for it. Starts with an F. And an F boy. You can probably figure out what it is. And he was proud of that. I'm like, bro, I'm proud of that until you're in court being ordered to pay for however many kids you just fathered because you were having fun. Responsibilities, bro. You got to be responsible. How much did I miss? Mostly up here. I'll never understand people that sleep around. That's just not me. So they're like, oh, you never had the opportunity. I was like, bro, I was legit in the Marines for 5 years. You can be the ugliest Marine known to man, and you're still going to get some, just saying. All military branches have freaking groupies. Just saying. Like, legit, there are people that just want the cred. I slept with a Marine. Yeah, whatever. I never had that conundrum. I never partook. I did partake while I was in, but not of that. I dated a few women while I was in. Nicest girl I dated was in Kobe, Japan. We just lost contact, which is sad because I did like her, but it's the curse of the Marines, or the military in general, is they tell you to get up and go, and you gotta go, you know? So it's just annoying when that happens, but it does happen, and fairly often. I was moved, I want to say I probably did 12 duty stations over a 6-year period. Now, granted, I was in during wartime too, so at least two of those were voluntary, and two of those were not. I mean, voluntary in that I asked to be sent there. Like the year in Japan, well, that was all me. I was like, yes, that's the duty station I want. And they're like, Okinawa? I was like, no, 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 no. You misunderstand me. I want Iwakuni. You know, mainland Japan. No, no, no diss to Okinawa, but you know, I want to be able to go to Tokyo on the weekends, which I did. I want to be able to go to Hiroshima. I want to be able to go to Akihabara, Shibuya. You know, Okinawa's got its charms. I'll say that, and I've been there. You have to go there to get your freaking dental work done. Which is not the greatest place in the world to go. I had to go there to get my wisdom teeth out. The military don't like wisdom teeth. They hate it. All right, what am I at? 67? Let's pick this up. And put it... There we go. Let me up here. Ew! Y'all got attacked by birds. And those birds crapped all over this place. Those birds went ballistic. They said, oh, we're going to light you up, bro. They really did. Birds were playing right at, running right at the Valkyries. Dun, 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 you know, that one. I'm not even going to bother clicking on the dirt button. I know it's bad. Well, it does. Oh, actually, it should do the gutters. Oh, not that. Well, maybe I have to do that. Yeah. This is going to be rough if I need to do this. Let's try the green one on this. I would assume where the bird poop is, it's not going to be great. I would assume that's the thing. Oh my God, your house is nasty. Why would I have to do the roof, Bill? That's another thing. Why do I have to do the roof? Anyways, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, dating in the military. Yeah, I knew a lot of guys that got married too. I know a lot of guys that got divorced too. When I was in, I think, of all the friends I had that got married, as far as I know, only 2 are still married to the same person. And one of them I know was married before he came in. And he still screwed up. Screwed up in Japan with another girl. And I knew him and his wife, and they did patch it up, but that's got to be rough too. I mean, because when you go over to Japan, you're there for a year. That's a long time, man. To be, you know, especially when you got a young wife at home too. I mean, the odds that somebody's going to screw around are fairly good. And, you know, this person was pretty religious too. So, That is not a limiting factor. It's like, oh, they're religious. They're not going to screw around. Oh, yeah, okay. If you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you in New York. Don't nothing stop somebody from doing it. And I'm not blaming that. I'm not throwing all of it on guys either, because man, oh man, did. Let me just put it this way: if you are a white woman, or any woman that's not Japanese over in Japan, or any foreign base, if you are the the rare commodity, we'll say, you could be a horn dog if you want. You could be the biggest player. It's, not all of them, but we did have a few that definitely. I can think of at least one person that had maybe 6, 7 boyfriends in a 6-month period over there. And they weren't just meetups either. She was she's one of the. I don't want to speak bad of her, but I probably should. But yeah, if you're the odd commodity in another country, you're gonna get hit on, especially if you're very, very different. Like if you're blonde haired and blue eyed and you're in Japan, bro, you are going to be fairly popular. Just saying. You are definitely going to attract attention. I'll tell you that right now. It's no different from being, the only black student in a school or the only Asian student in a school. You're going to have an outsized amount of attention. Just saying. And I'm not going to lie. I know plenty of people that took advantage of that. I mean, I don't think there was, honestly, I don't think there was anything wrong with it. But I know, like, one of them, one of the people I know had a serious boyfriend in the same area, and she still messed around. Which I don't know. I don't. I literally don't think that lasted. I didn't keep up with them, but some people weren't actually friends. Oddly, I mean, it's weird. Weird thing to say. All right. Here's one thing you got to understand about the military. We don't all like each other. We have our own cliques, our own groups, and stuff. But when it comes to the unit does always come first. So you may not particularly tolerate certain people, but if you're in combat, that don't frickin' matter. You remember long ago I told you the old silly story with about the old little joke when the Marines are in a bar, they'll all fight each other unless the Navy comes in, and the Navy and the Army, Marines and the Navy gang up on the Army, and then you, Army, Navy, and Marines beat up the Air Force, and then the Coast Guard. Again, yeah, there's a lot of rivalry, stuff like that. I mean, and there are people I honestly didn't like, but we go into combat, bro, I got your back. We may not be friends, but we are brothers in arms. We're sisters. Quite a few females that were in our unit. We were not a direct combat unit. Just those of you sitting there going, oh, I thought you're Marines, you're the combat unit. Bro, you can't all be a combat unit. Contrary to popular belief. I mean, at least the way the Marines see it, you can't, every Marine's a rifleman. In practice, we aren't. I mean, we're all qualified. We can all pick up a gun if we have to, and like I'm an expert shooter. I was all 3 times I qualified. But again, that was not my job. My job was to keep the equipment running so that the planes could keep flying, which I'm pretty sure the grunts were damn happy about because if they needed air support, you bet your ass they want the planes to be able to leave. And if I don't know my job, that was the thing too that I used to tell people about is like, if I didn't do my job, and let me just put it out there, I was Type 3 calibration lab. Um, Type 1 is the standard for the entire U.S. Type 2 is one in the Pacific, I believe, one in the Atlantic, one in the U.S. Type 3 is regional, I guess you could say. We calibrated the standard for all the other units. Like, so how to put it this? Okay, so let me take my last unit, which was avionics. What was it? MACU, Marine Avionics Communication Unit. It was originally MATCIS, and then for whatever reason they changed it. MATCS, which is Marine Avionic Air Traffic Control Squadron, right? So that means we had 4 detachments. Each detachment could go out. They had comm, they had radar. They could basically set up an airfield. So, and we had 4 of those, right? And what I did for them, I managed all their equipment. When their equipment needed to be calibrated, which is with the radar and aircraft and stuff like that, they have to be within certain tolerances. Uh, for a very clear example, you guys know what an altimeter is on an aircraft. That's the thing that tells you how close you are to the ground. All right, so let's just say the altimeter has a tolerance for my Americans in feet of plus or minus 5%, which not what an altimeter would have. It'd be a lot lower. But for sake of argument, of explanation, we're going to go with that. So say it's plus or minus, go 10%, plus or minus 10%. It would definitely not be that. All right, so I gotta give my hand a rest for a second. Let's to put it in perspective. Let's see. You go to calibrate it. You check the measurement, and it's 25% off. Okay, so when they are 200 feet off the ground, and it's 200 feet off the ground, and you're 25% off, plus or minus, you're either 150 feet actually off the ground or 250 feet. So one of two things is going to happen to that plane. And for those of you who don't know, at certain altitudes, planes have to be, like if you're coming down on a carrier, you have to be at a very specific speed. I mean, it's no joke. You got to be at a very specific speed. Too fast, too slow, and you got to slam into the bow. Too fast, and you got to tear right through the damn arresting cables. They can stop a plane, but they can't stop one that's going 100 miles faster than it's supposed to be. You know, so that's how they kind of let you. They clue you in on the importance of your role. So to explain what a Type 3 is, the aircraft in question uses a multimeter. Multimeters got a tolerance of 3%, right? They send it to a MALS, a Aviation Logistics Squadron. MALS is a Type 4 lab. So the MALS recalibrates it, right? So I'm at a Type 3 lab, which means I calibrate the equipment for a MALS. All right, so here's why you got to pay attention. All right, say I do a meter calibrator for them. That's a piece of equipment that's used to obviously calibrate meters. It's a stack. John Fluke used to make them when I was in. But All right, say I screw up and my standard is now 5% off, just 5% off, right? So now the mals, when they get it, since they think that that standard is legit, they think that's at 0% or whatever its intolerance. It is not. So now mals calibrates, and then they make a 5% or an 8% screw up, right? And so now your standard, your test equipment is being tested, and you're already at a 10% deficit, right? That's not factoring in uh, the tolerances they deal with on the aircraft or whatever they use in the multimeter for. So, you know, bad things can happen, and that crap adds up real quick. It's a really long-winded explanation, but it explains roughly what a cal lab is, what a Type 3 lab is. We calibrated the standards for the standards labs. They calibrated the equipment for the actual. Um, in my case, most of the stuff I had, with the exception of a really ancient piece of junk that we had up until they got rid of a certain airframe, um, were usually, they were, I'm trying to remember how many labs we had. We had like six, I think. I'm going through them. We had ACDC, scopes and counters, microwave, FISD, temperature, pressure. Missing something somewhere. Uh, I was usually in either microwave, ACDC, or scopes and counters, depending on. Most of the time, I was stuck in ACDC. For whatever reason, I was really good at doing 65-page checklists on meter calibrators, and I'd get like 7 or 8 of them at a time, or not at a time, but I'd do them all back to back to back to back to back, and I could do them fairly quick. Hey, if you do anything a lot, you're good at it. Just saying. Yeah. I was either in there or I was in microwave because that stupid piece of junk that was literally calibrated with duct tape by the end. They finally did get rid of the aircraft that used it, but my God. Because there were only two in the Pacific that I remember. And at one point, it had this little 2-inch waveguide on it. It was basically when you got to transmit really high microwaves, you don't use a cable, you use a waveguide, which is like a hollow aluminum tube, which is very, very specific, and the resistance and stuff that's on it, which is all Greek to some of you guys. Some of you are like, oh, this is interesting. Some of you are like, what the hell is he talking about? But anyways, it had a 2-inch waveguide, very, very specific, and the freaking unit broke it. And they were like, well, can't you get another one? We're like, bro, the company that made it went out of business in the 60s. So we had to fix that. We had to jury rig something with the correct resistance. It was a nightmare. Every time, it was so unreliable. It was on a 90-day cal cycle, which means after 90 days, it would come back and we'd have to recalibrate it. That's how crappy this piece of junk was. It had a thing called a frequency cavity, which is basically like a dial that sets a frequency on it. Yeah, that froze. Like literally, if you're wondering what that means exactly what it sounds like it means. It means it stopped spinning. So the only option was to clip vice grip on it. Put a vice grip on it and stick a yellow cal tag on it that said calibrated for use with vice grips. We didn't have a choice. There was only two in the Pacific, one in the Pacific. I think there was one in the Atlantic. The parts couldn't be gotten anymore, and it's not like you can swap out another frequency cavity. So it was just a pain in the ass. The other thing I remember doing, which was funny, is I think I told you this before when the Men in Black would show up, because we used to calibrate the It needs the frequencies to calibrate certain test equipment used on a Sidewinder missile. And they have a classified frequency, which changes, I believe. But they would come on, you get the guy in the black suit from frickin' Washington with the suitcase chained to his hand. And it was not a, it was a very, very, I want to say, I'm not going to say accurate, but it was a very, very, it's a pretty specific frequency. Okay, gutters are a thing. I need to do porch fences. I didn't get those done yet. Yeah, but it was pretty damn specific what you had to do. Why am I walking so slow? This one's crap. I think I fell off all of a sudden. Yeah, it was just dumb. And the last thing they tell you is now don't like forget everything you just saw. And I'm like, bro, it's like a 12-digit frequency. I'm not gonna remember that random number, which is not 100% true because I work on so many meter calibrators. At one point, I knew which one it was based on its serial number, and let me just say that at least with Hewlett Packard, those serial numbers are not are a good 20, 15 digits. I can't remember. That's a good amount of digits. There's a window frame somewhere I didn't do. Oh well, you can see the fence that I need to finish. Okay, that's one. That's one done. And this is the other one. That was the window frame I was missing. Also a post I'm missing. Oh my god, I missed all this. So yeah, that's just a little bit of crazy crap I got got into in the military. That didn't make you happy? I gotta get around. Oh, I see. A lot of this underneath crap. Ah, there we go. Okay, posts. What posts are dirty? Oh, right there. That's one. All right. And this side. Yep. Okay, there's one. Where's the next one at? It's going to be another post. Oh, it's right here. Okay, there we go. We did another job. Yay. Holy crap, this took forever. Yeah, that was just. I always end up talking about the military in one of these things just because it's what I know. All right, we're going to continue on, eh? And we're going to go back to the. Let's go back to career. Wait, was I not doing career? Oh. Oh, okay. In progress, completed. Oh, no, I don't want to join that. Cancel that. I didn't want to join the co-op game. I just wanted to do stuff. Damn it. What is all this crap? Is this the Dirt Finder General? What the hell are you talking about, bro? All right. Can I afford a new power washer yet? I get the medium duty, which will. Oh, yeah. I want the medium duty. I'm going to buy this. Boop. All right. Do I want any parts as well? Improves the range while still being able to use quite close to surfaces. Spinning 0-degree nozzle that increases the area of effect while maintaining water pressure. That's only 15 bucks. This one seems better. What's this 181? Oh, that's a super one. Hey, look at the info. I'll buy it. I said I'll buy it. I said I'll buy it. Oh, I can't afford it? Why can't I buy it? All right, fine. We'll buy this one. Oh, maybe it's only used on the higher end ones. Well, anyways, guys, I think we're done. If you guys want to see more of this, make sure you let me know. But my name is JD Sensei. This is PowerWash Simulator. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do consider doing so. I do upload every day of the week, mostly 7 days to die. Occasionally I switch it up with something like this. So thank you much, and I'll catch you in the next vid. Bye now.